Hi, welcome back for another Timbit Blazer video. This is the Vice President as the Timbit Blazer is off doing executive business in Hawaii this week. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to play Tetris. And why, you ask? Because there is an obvious need for this out there. If you've landed here on this video, I know where you're coming from. You've entered a social gathering of some kind and instantly self-awareness hits. You're insecure. You're wondering who could beat you in a Tetris one-on-one match. You're hoping it won't come up, but you know inevitably it's going to come up because you can't escape this. Everywhere you go, people talk to you about Tetris. I understand. I know how it is. So I'm here to teach you what I have learned, and we're going to discuss some strategies that I've learned as we walk through the game of Tetris 99. Okay, so we've just entered the match. We're waiting for people to log on. At this stage, here's strategy number one. Stare at this thing as hard as you can, as long as you can. Don't look away, just stare at it. Okay, I'm just joking. Don't stare at it. It's actually quite annoying, and it has nothing to do with the actual game. But I'll just explain what Tetris 99 is. It's an online battle Tetris game on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if there's any other platforms for it. But it's traditional Tetris played in battle mode online. The reason I'm using this game is because it's free, obviously. But no matter the game, the Tetris rules are usually always the same. This game maintains traditional Tetris rules, and I will show you the strategies that work for me and how to win this game. Okay, before we get started, I just want to talk a little bit about what's being displayed on the screen. This is the go word. This means start your match. I'm just joking. That's not the kind of tutorial this is. These yellow lines simply show who is attacking you. Part of this game is that when they eliminate lines, garbage shows up on your screen when they're attacking you. As these yellow lines move around to different people, it just simply means that different people are attacking you at that point. So part of this game is getting attacked and then attacking others. So the question next is, how do I attack others? That's where these buttons come into play. There are four options to choose from. I've got mine set to KOs. That simply means that as the game progresses, it's going to automatically select people that are going to give me the highest return in KO points. I'll explain what that is later. The random button speaks for itself. It attacks people randomly. The attackers button is very good. It attacks people who are attacking you, and at points in the game, this is extremely useful. I'm not going to explain the badges button. I don't think it's helpful to the game. Just focus on KOs or attackers. Okay, so the match has started. The very first strategy that I'll mention is build flat. It's way easier to go upwards when you're building flat, creating as little bumps as possible. The more bumps introduce more obstacles, which make it harder to drop blocks. Of course, it's unavoidable, but keeping it flat is one recipe for success. You'll notice that I've left a gap on the left that is 3 columns wide. The purpose of this is to create combos. And what I mean by that is to eliminate rows consecutively, one after another. This is a strategy for creating garbage for your opponents, which is very effective. The reason it is effective is because it is difficult for them to get rid of the garbage after it has started. I'm going to fast forward to a point in the game where I do this, and you can see what it does to my opponents. Okay, starting right here, you see I start to destroy these rows consecutively, one after another. The goal here while I'm doing this is just to keep it going consecutively as long as possible, because each additional line creates additional problems for my opponents. Okay, so you'll see in the process of clearing all those rows, my KO count is up to 3, which means I've eliminated 3 other people from the game. And you see those gold little arrows that are starting to appear on my bottom right of my screen. Those arrows are important. Those are, they're kind of like experience. And what that means is when I create garbage for other players, it's going to do more damage for them than if I don't have them. So if you go back to the beginning of the match when I said that using the KO mode is effective, that's why, because it gives you the most experience when you knock out people, and it also creates this environment where you're most likely to get KOs. You'll notice right now that I've switched to attackers. The reason is, whenever I see garbage piling up like this, I know that I'm getting attacked by a lot of people. And when you see these gold stars appearing when I am clearing rows, it means that I am attacking a lot of people at once. Attackers is the only mode where you will end up attacking many people at once. So one of the things that is difficult about this game is that when you're being attacked by many people, the garbage piles up quick. I have found in playing that by switching to attackers mode and attacking them back quickly causes others to change their mode from attacking you to another mode of play. So this is a good defense strategy if you feel like you're losing a grip on the game. Okay, I'm just going to jump ahead here to talk about this kind of situation here. What do you do when you run into a situation like this where there's a clear answer, you want to get down, but problems are piling up fast, garbage is piling up? So I'm just going to state the obvious. When you've got a row that is blocking access to another row, it's very important to stop piling up blocks on top of that access point. If you notice on the left side of the screen there, the blue blocks, I need to eliminate those to get down, which I just did now. Now I'm free. and then you see on the right side of the screen, I have to clear that green one out from the top of that hole in order to go down. So I have to be very, very careful that in how I'm stacking, I'm not putting any new blocks on top of that green one, or else the problem is just going to elaborate and expand on itself over and over again. But when it comes to like how to do this quick and effectively, I will say that if you're not skilled in the problem solving required to do this, play offline as much as possible when there isn't all this other garbage and stuff going on, because the strategies that you like are, it's basic Tetris. So the tools and strategies that you pick up to do this are strategies that you pick up when you play by yourself, just seeing how far you can get on marathon mode. Okay, just a couple other things I'll mention. Usually by this point in the game, I stop creating 3 columns. I'm doing it again here, but I quickly switch to 1 column because as the speed and intensity picks up, it's easier to take less risk. Having 1 column empty on the right is ultimately an easier way to play Tetris and more reliable to get yourself down. Obviously, I'm just going to state the obvious again. The higher the blocks go, the less decision time you have to drop blocks. Therefore, at this stage of the game, as the intensity picks up, it is better to play as low as possible. However, of course, being tempted by putting garbage on other people, sometimes I tempt myself to build high for a big payoff, and that's how I end up losing a lot of the time. Okay, I'm just going to speed up a little bit here. When you get to this part of the game where you're creating 1 column and you're waiting for blue lines to destroy, I'm going to recommend against holding onto those blue lines to save your life. Some people do it, but it restricts your ability to play the game ultimately. And in this version of Tetris, the blue lines come often enough. If you go back to the NES days, the original version of Tetris, it was notorious for line droughts. You would like create this situation where you have to hold out for a line and the line would never come. But I find in this game, this particular version of Tetris, that blue line comes all the time, so there is no need to hold on to it as a safety thing in your bank. Just play the game, hold whatever item you want to hold. The blue line will come soon enough. Anyways, I know that you're eager to see how this game ends, so just fast forwarding to the end here. I want to show you what it's like as the garbage starts to pile in. Here's the question: am I going to be able to get out of this one? Am I going to get that blue line? Am I going to get to it? No. Let me tell you, for those who have not experienced this, getting far in the game and losing because somebody thoughtlessly threw garbage on you, it's not very gratifying. However, this game is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Hope you've learned something from listening to my tips today. This has been another Timbit Blazer production. If you enjoyed this, please press the like button and hit subscribe. We'll see you next time.